Queenshipt Live, where we speak to women who are beautiful on the inside and out. Welcome with you on your transformative journey to your highest purpose and good day. Now, I was just washing dishes and I got to thinking, when you're too predictable, you're easily controlled. When I can predict what you're gonna do, if I do this and you always do this, then I could control the environment. Like, if somebody is always reacting to reality instead of being proactive, then it's easy for somebody to gather that pattern, recognize that pattern of behavior, and start moving in a way where you're blindsided. Like you think that you have somebody, but then the 100 steps ahead because they saw that every time they posted, every time they put out something, every time they put out a thought piece, every time they launched a big either a website or a book or a podcast, you copy all of it. Your response or your reaction to it is to copy or to do something that is equally as great or grand, but it's reactive, so there's no real structure behind it. Then okay, I clock that. You overheard because all I really have to do is not post everything. I know we just got right into it, but listen, this won't this was what was on my mind. All I have to do is not post everything. Like I write down all my ideas. So, like I'm got books upon books. Look how thick this is. So one of these is a book that I'm writing. So this is the book that I'm writing, and this is the book that comes with it. It's like a planner. But I haven't made that public. I'm also kind of constructing music, thinking of a new album. And the thing is about this album, I had the concept last year, and the concept was more so getting into my music because my first album, although I had handwritten my lyrics, AI produced it. Like it's AI singing, AI was the one who produced the music behind it, but I was the lyricist behind it. And and then I got into playing around with ChatGPT, my concepts again, but they wrote out the lyrics, and then there was one where it was kind of like a cipher. So I wrote a line, and then ChatGPT wrote a line, and we made a song out of it. So I was playing around with AI, but now it's like, okay, I want to fully engage in the process of producing music, you know, because it's something that I'm actually good at. I want to give, I want to delegate what I'm not good at to AI and then focus on what I'm good at. So the music, the book, the planner, I'm creating a operational system, a Lioness Dynasty operational system. I'm doing all these things on the back end where I could post something, even if it's like a little um, teaser. I can post something and it may seem so big to others, but it's minuscule to me. So while you're reacting to the minuscule, I'm creating something big in the background. on the back end. While your focus is over here, I'm focusing on building this up. So as you see, I'm documenting on YouTube, but my Instagram is set up completely different. I don't even market what I put up on YouTube, because if you stumble across this video, then you stumble across this video. Good day, hello, welcome, come. This is Queenshipt live. Queenshipt because I'm always on my queen shit. Feel me? And then I'm wriggle on top of that. That's that queenship. You know, I have this demeanor, but I'm got an attitude balanced out. So you get queenship. So welcome. Right now we're talking about the cost of being predictable. You get left behind. You think you're 10 steps ahead when you need other people, you need other people's validation, you need other people's input, you need other people's advice, you need accountability buddies, you need everybody to hold you accountable so that you can do what you need to do with your life. So that you can be successful in your own life, other people have to hold you accountable. And then on top of that, you need motivation from a real muse in order to actually move forward and actually have some motion in your life. You need to be motivated by the queen. I'm in writing articles on you, exposing you. I'm really playing with you, but I'm not putting too much attention on it. I'm got AI doing a lot of things. I'm basically talking to my phone. Then I read it over. It doesn't take much to post at all. A lot of people make certain things sound like such a big challenge, like it's such a big decision, like going off of social media and not being on social media scrolling all day, eating healthy, working out, or posting something. Everybody makes it seem, or there's certain people that make it seem like it's such a hassle, like it's such a big task, but it's actually pretty simple. Literally, I could take a picture of outside right now and post it. Just put some emojis, like a tree emoji with a star next to it. That's my post for the day. And then on top of that, these platforms have made it easier for you to stay off social media by setting up these schedules. So you can schedule a post. Now, one thing that I don't like about the scheduling, I mean, you can put it on a draft, you can save it as a draft, and I think you can come in and edit it as you please. But after you post it as a schedule, you can't come in and edit it. So I'm not sure if every platform has that option where you can just leave it as a draft, and then in time you just come in and edit it, or you can just go Google Docs, save it under Google Docs. Google has this whole ecosystem that is so helpful. So helpful. Like Google and Apple and Rolls Royce is like they had the business person in mind. You're doing business, work with us, do business with us. It's like, okay, y'all got me, I'm got you. Like, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Google has this whole ecosystem that just makes life so much easier. But like I was saying, there's so many things that you can do to stay ahead of yourself, to stay ahead of the game. Because really, they're playing a game, but you're not playing. If you're over here, you're not playing. There's no, I'm just helping you waste your time. I don't even know what type of game you're playing anymore. I posted a video some time back about, like, I don't think we're playing the same game. I don't think we're playing the same game. Like, I was born Muslim. I know my parents aren't strict, so I have a certain way about myself that's modern with a little bit of tradition. Like I said, I was born Muslim. Marriage has been on the back of my mind since I was a kid. You don't have many girls thinking about marriage at 5. And when they are thinking about marriage, they're thinking about playing house. They're not thinking about legacy development. They're not thinking about family governance. They're not thinking about succession planning. They're not thinking about that type of stuff. They're not thinking about taking care of their body so that they have a safe pregnancy. So that neither one of you get to lose your life when you give birth. And then making sure that your man is healthy. Because when you take on his seed, your body has to respond to how he took care of his seeds, his harvest. He has to stay healthy, because if he's eating junk food and whatever the case may be, and his sperm isn't properly developed, then your body has to take that on. That's how you get morning sickness. You think so many things are normal, but it's not. Especially if you take care of yourself, you wouldn't experience life the same way. Some of y'all want to play this game. You know, you're troubling yourself. You're beefing with yourself. I'm not in the studio today. I'll be in the studio like Thursday or something. I just had this on my mind and thought it's a good line. That's the thing about these random lives. I get to go anytime I want. The podcasts are more structured. So that's me really recording, and then me playing in the studio, doing episode by episode by episode. It's not these random lives. It's not a random video. It's actually like sitting down and focusing and concentrating and doing work, you know? And then once I'm finished my season, then that's when, and then I put it on a schedule. And now I'm thinking about scheduling the marketing for those podcasts, because at first I would do out the whole season. I would voice record it. I wouldn't get on live. I was doing faceless content. I would voice record it and then go on in video, construct. Actually, no. I would, okay, voice record, do up a transcript. From that transcript, I would put it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT would break down the description of the episode, and I would label it episode 1, and then come up with a title and all type of stuff. All that type of stuff was done. The description, the captions, the title, the episodes, the videos that go to the episodes, the intro, all that type of stuff was done months ahead of time. And then the only thing I had to do was market it. Now I'm thinking about doing everything all at once, coming up with the thumbnails, the marketing, the caption, and all type of stuff, and then scheduling it. So once the episode publishes, the content will automatically be sent out, and you can set the time that you want to post it as well, so they can both be posted at the same time, and it looks like like if you're used to, like, if anybody is used to coming up with an idea, editing on your spot, and then posting it, and you did that day, then it looks like literally they're posting every day, but literally I have it on a schedule, and it posts by itself automatically while I'm out doing whatever, living my life. And you're gonna react to that. Man, I'm not even behind the computer. I may not even be in the room. I may not even be on social media that day. Y'all are worrying about getting off of social media. Why not? But then you want to post. You want to make a name for yourself. You have to be on social media to do that. If you work, you're on your phone. Some of y'all just need structure, direction. It's not social media is not the problem. It's your mind that's the problem. Because if it wasn't social media, it would be something else. Y'all talking about vision boards and all type of stuff. It's not the vision boards that's the problem. It's passivity. Yo, sleep on yourselves. Yo, sleep on yourselves. Or her disrespecting yourselves on a day-to-day basis. Not executing on your own desires. And then trying to have other people hold you accountable for the outcome of your life. It's not other people's responsibility for you to fulfill your soul, for you to fulfill your soul purpose in life. That is your responsibility alone. You know, like honestly, the thing that got me all messed up was that I should have music playing in the background. Was that I'm pretty sure I could set it up here, but I just don't know if it would drown on my voice. The thing that had me so messed up is that they tried to diminish what I was doing, work, to then copy of what I was doing, that doesn't take much at all. Trying to compete by using my blueprint. Thinking, and some people do that so that you can work to prove yourself. For what? Just stealing from me. What proof do I need? You're trying to attack me. What proof do I need? You're trying to humble me and humiliate me. What proof do I need? Nobody puts in that amount of work for nobody, for a loser. You know I'm not a loser. I know I'm not a loser. I literally, like, I understand a lot of people helped me. I understand a lot of people supported me. But a lot of things I've had to do by myself. I'm not got somebody knocking on my door telling me, oh, I need to clean up. Oh, I need to wash dishes. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to go to work today. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, you need to focus on your purpose. You need to focus. You need to concentrate. Ain't nobody on my back telling me what to do. That's all on me. And you're trying to compete with me? I found that to be so offensive that you think that we can possibly be on the same level. We don't even think the same. We don't move the same. We don't have the same priorities. We're not competing for the same thing. You're competing for attention. I'm not competing at all. We're not in the same lane. Compete for what? Compete with who? I've already told you. I've already told them you can't compete with me. I'm on a different level. You need to level up in order to compete with me. I told them that they're not a worthy opponent. If you want to be my enemy, you have to be worthy of being my enemy. Ain't nobody just my ain't nobody just my friends. I'm not friends with just anybody. I'm not with just anybody. I don't just spend my time with just anybody. I don't make anybody just anybody my company, and I don't make just anybody my enemy. If you're my enemy, you gotta be I better be like Beyonce or like you gotta, cause enemy, a worthy opponent, challenges you to be greater, to be better. The attacking this, oh you're right. I need to change my strategy. I need to do this, I need to do that. It didn't take long to clock you. Didn't take too long. Doesn't take much effort at all. Like you're low maintenance. You're a low maintenance enemy. You're a low maintenance enemy. You lost a long time ago, but you're still playing your own games by yourself. You're easily forgotten. You're easy to forget. It's just there's gonna come a point in time where I don't have to deal with this no more. Like I'm in a good space. I'm in a good space in my life. where I can actually post something like this. And it be okay. And I know I'm in the right. And eventually somebody's gonna come across this and know what I'm talking about. But right now, if you come across this right now, you're not gonna know what I'm talking about. And I can't predict when everything will start to unfold. Everything will start making sense later. I keep saying that, like it's gonna make sense later. But right now it's not gonna make any sense. Because it hasn't come to pass. And this is what it looks like when you're too attuned to your higher self. When it comes to challenges, all you have to do is listen to your higher self, because your higher self, your future self, has already been through what you're going through now. Makes sense? Time is not linear. It's not a straight line. Like, if how could you make sense of time if you have deja vu? How could you only go by the time on the clock and the calendars when you have deja vu? When you have a dream about something that hasn't passed, and then you it comes to pass, and it's like, I, I had a dream about that 2 years ago. How could you make sense of a deja vu? How could you make sense of a vision? How could you make sense of an intuition? You can't simplify or put logic on something that's illogical. It makes no sense right now. It's gonna make sense eventually. Then, like, you could be extremely intuitive, but not trust yourself. And then you give yourself too many reasons to not trust yourself. You keep going back on a promise. You keep when you make a mistake, you're too harsh on yourself. And then you hold yourself back. You doubt intuition. You're full of fear. So your emotion is not clear. You have no clear pathway in your life. That's why you will make moves that are harming you. They're not harming you now. It feels like heaven right now, but it's gonna feel like hell later. Like, same way with discipline. It feels like hell right now, but it's gonna feel like heaven later. Like, you don't have discipline over what you eat, always eating junk food. It feels like heaven right now until you can't breathe. You're having trouble breathing. Your body's breaking down on you. Can't feel your fingers. Going through all these ailments. Organs are failing. That's the how, unfortunately, that you created for yourself. Same way with how we respond to things. If you are not in a relationship with somebody, he knows, the one that he wants to be with knows, but the world don't. And you're like, oh, this me next. Look at me and him 5 years ago. You can't take no porn pictures because he's not feeling you can't post nothing corn. Can't post nothing corn. Because he already knows what you're doing. He starts cutting you out. Like, if you was once in that picture, he's gonna cut you out. He's gonna slowly start removing you out of his life so that the public knows that there's nothing going on. While you are still working on trying to convince the public that y'all are still together. And one day this truth is gonna come out. And you're gonna look like the bear god. But I might end up looking like the bear god. How? You have two people who love each other, who want to move on with each other. But then you have this obstacle, this Jezebel, who's causing the issue. At first, I was going by sight and I was doubting myself. I didn't know what to think. And I was literally going to walk away. If a man loves somebody, but then his ex is trying to sabotage the relationship, how do you think he's going to feel about her? Man, I almost walked away because of her. Two divine beings, anointed and protected by God, and you try to interfere with that union. You have to be careful. You never know who you're trying to play with. Like, games are literally for children. These types of games are literally for children. You don't, some people really don't know the what it takes, or how the mind develops when you've been preparing for marriage since you were a kid. And then when you actually meet that person, there's something that happens in your mind. Like when you meet the right person. When you've been looking, if you've been looking since 5, 14, 13, the decision that you make as an adult, especially if you've been preparing, the decision that you make as an adult is going to be sound. It's going to be a sound decision. And when you finally meet that person, but you're not trying to let that go. You're not trying to lose that. And then, like I said, something happens, like in your mind, where you stop making decisions for yourself. You start making decisions for the both of you. And I mean, I'm in the beginning stages of it. Like it literally just happened the other day. But I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like I think the same. I don't feel the same. I feel like even though I've been preparing for uh, a life with somebody, it's like different levels of maturity. I just activated another level, you know. Like I don't feel like I was the same person as I was last week or the week before that. You can really tell, like, man, it's like a different, it's a certain glow, it's a certain happiness, it's a certain softness, like it's a certain ease, you know, it's a certain clarity. Like keep playing, keep, you know, you're only you're only digging your own grave. You're only digging your own grave. You know, I just, you know, I'm just cheering you on. A few years ago, I was like, I had a sense that the Grim Reaper is coming. And I didn't know when the Grim Reaper was gonna come, and it came like last year or something. I'm like, remember when I was like, the coming last year they're here, and this year they're working. They're working. It takes time for God's work to like not come to light, because it's gradual. And when you're tapped in, you can really see it in your own life in real time. The little incremental things here and there that works for you or against you, depending on what side you're on. Like if you're on the side of God, the little things that work for you. Like I was in a bad space before. I was in a real bad space before, and I took some videos. I don't know when or how I'm gonna put those out of how I was living before. But I'm in a whole nother space, and I'm not even paying rent. Like I only paid $200 worth of rent, and now I live rent free because I was I was I was in a certain space. I was downstairs. They moved me upstairs. I'm in like this space. If I stayed downstairs, I would have been paying $200 a month. Then they moved me to the 500, 550 a month, and I'm like, you're trying to. They was like, they called me in a meeting. to tell me that I'm approved to move up a level. And I only had been here for a few days. And because I have like a stable job or whatever. And like you can move up. And because I don't know if I ever shared that I'm with financial assistance, I don't really care. A lot of people seem like they're ashamed of it. I was ashamed of it. But I live for free. I live rent free. Ashamed of what? I could have, and I did the math. I would have been paying $2,400 a year if I chose to stay here. It would have been $2,400 a year. That's not much at all. But no, I'm not paying nothing. I'm like, you're trying to have me move into a more expensive space? I'm gonna have to move things around. I'm gonna have to work more because I trade my time for money. Whatever time I put in, and sometimes I'll make more if I'm working on a holiday. I'm gonna have to put more hours in. Oh man, I'm gonna be busted and tired. My goodness, you trying to have me work more? I know what you're trying to do to me. And it's like, oh, but financial assistance covers it. So you won't be paying anything. I'm like, oh, you know what? I I'm gonna move in as soon as possible. Matter of fact, let me move in tomorrow because I couldn't do it that day. Let me move on right now. That sounds like a good idea. He told me, oh, you're qualified to move up. I'm like, oh, 550. I don't know. Financial assistance pays for it. Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, this sounds like a good idea. So no, they have a curfew. So if you are in 200 space, you have to be out by a certain time and be back by a certain time. You have to be out by 7:30 in the morning, and you have to be back by 5 p.m. But if you go to the 550, you can stay here all day. There's no curfew. You know, I have a little fridge. I got a mini fridge, but if you stay in 200, you have a shared fridge in the dining hall, and it don't even work properly. I had coconut water in there, and it went bad. And I left like bread in there, and somebody took my bread. But with the 550, I have my own fridge. I can put whatever I want in there, as much as I want in there, and it's brand new. Literally, as soon as the day I moved in here was the day that they bought a fridge upper, a new fridge. When I tell you God is blessing me, don't look at it like, oh, because I was in a worse condition than this. Oh, you want financial assistance? That sounds like you're struggling. Really? Because I was paying 360, 400, $200 for um if I needed to get, because my spine's misaligned. Now I'm getting now I'm like rambling. I think we're off that topic, right? My spine's misaligned, so I'm going to like physio, chiro, spa, whatever I need to do to sort out my life. And I was, 240, 250, 300, 360, whatever I was paying. I didn't care how much I had to pay. I just want this pain to go away. Help me. Got on financial assistance and paid $50. So I live rent free, and my last doctor's appointment or my last checkup was $50. And I don't have to pay for groceries. The only thing I have to pay for is cat food and gas. I took myself out the other day to celebrate. It's not lobster season no more. I'm in wanting to take myself out on a date to get lobster, but it's not lobster season, so I end up getting onion rings. I ain't never had no onion rings before, because why would I just want to eat onions? Fried onions. It doesn't sound appetizing at all, so I would just never get it. I got onion rings and shrimp, like a shrimp uh, boat, 3 different types of shrimp, some sweet potatoes. And what else I did? Oh, I got a new computer that I needed. Now I'm back to saving money. Back to saving money because we don't need to spend a whole bunch. I've got a business to sort out. I finished paying off some debt. Now I still have one more debt to clear off, which is the biggest one that I've got. I feel like just dropping random bills, like just to get rid of it, because I don't want it there no more. I don't want it there no more. I'm gonna set up an automatic transaction system so it pays it off weekly. I just have to set a time that I'm gonna start that. That's why I need to save money, because that needs to go. And then we gotta legitimize our business. And all these things, ChatGPT, Claude, Lovable, those aren't free. Like if you want to elevate your own brand, you gotta spend some money. You gotta spend money to make money. You gotta spend money to make money. Right now I'm spending time to save me time. Because ain't nobody gonna feel like explaining themselves during the relationship. Like if the thing is, I can't explain myself when the relationship comes out, when it's made public, because there will be too much to explain. Y'all could just come back here, watch watch the videos, listen to the album. Literally everything's in there. You know, don't ask me no questions if you haven't checked the documentary. I've been documenting this whole time. And then on top of that, I didn't want to expose the relationship if I wasn't certain that it was real. Like, why are you still with her? But I get it. Ooh, God was putting me through some lessons. This whole situation put me through it. You know, a real man is not just gonna up and leave the person that he built a relationship with. It would have been worse if he had a family. If you gave her kids and he just up and left, that means you don't have no discipline. You have no patience. You have no sense of self control. Your life isn't structured. You left. Did you make sure that she was okay? Did you make sure that you communicated properly what you felt and what you thought and what you wanted for your future and what was gonna happen from now on? Did you communicate? Did you openly express that you're in love with somebody else? Did you cover yourself to make sure, not even just financially, spiritually? Because if you leave that woman with burdens, that energy is gonna follow you because you have done her wrong. You have done wrong. Even though you followed your heart and went with the person that you truly love and all that type of stuff, if you left that woman with burdens, if you left her with no home, no money, your kid is she's struggling taking care of your kid, is yours kid that you brought into this world together, took the car, sold the car, whatever the case may be, just to make the other woman happy, you have karma now that you have to pay off, either through the woman that you brought a child to this earth. You had her bring a child, your child, into this earth. If you haven't made right with her, you have to make right with somebody, with another woman, not the woman that you love that you left her with, but you know you have to make amends. That's not just your name, your reputation, and your physical, but that's you. That's your energy. That's your karma in the spiritual as well. You gotta handle that. You just can't up and leave your responsibilities just because the woman is willing to stay. just because the woman's willing to stay with your child. You gotta handle your responsibilities. You're a man. You just can't make irrational decisions and leave your responsibilities behind. You gotta work on your patience. You gotta work on your discipline. You gotta work on your sense of respect. Because if you respect yourself and you respect the woman that you had kids with, if you respect her enough, you would make sure that she's okay. No, I'm not sure about, going out on dates and all that type of stuff. But just make sure that she's okay. And then, how you treat your woman will also show the woman that you intend on going with. It would show her how you treat women. And if you leave with bad energy, you might bring that energy into your new relationship. You gotta handle that. And then you can't just hop into another relationship. You gotta clean yourself. Sexual, like that sexual energy, you gotta clean all of that. Go to a Reiki healer, go to a therapist, take spiritual showers, spiritual baths, and wait a few years before you have sexual intercourse with somebody else. It takes about 5 to 7 years for that energy to leave you. Now, fact check me on that one. That could be wrong. That could be, could be factual. 4 years, 3, 4 years, possibly. You gotta handle that, not just for your sake, but for the woman that you're bringing into your life now. You want to protect her image. And then if you know that your baby mama's crazy, you also have to protect her mentally, emotionally, and physically. Make sure that you set boundaries already. Make sure that she already knows that you're not playing about her. Some women are stubborn. Some women feel like they have something to prove. Some women are rebellious. Some women don't even care, don't even like men for some reason, but they're in relationships with them. They're just using them for money and clout, status. So even if he says lay off, she's still gonna be doing her own thing. That's why you gotta make sure that you're strong. Because he may have came with baggage. She may have came with baggage. What are you willing to do to ensure that you guys have a safe union? Are you willing to clear your name in advance? Damage control. Exercise damage control. How long are you willing to exercise damage control? This is damage control. This is to let you know that this is what's been going on this whole time. This is why this is happening. This is why certain things is going on. Debate things are going on. Why you stop seeing certain things. It makes sense of something that doesn't make any sense. Somebody questioned it, but they took on the post. Baby girl, listen to your intuition. Your intuition told you that something sketchy is going on. And it was. It was. Some people already knew, like, oh, the energy's off. It was. It was and is. I saw it myself as well. I didn't even know he was in a relationship. All his social media platforms can't find not a single girlfriend, not a single remnants of a relationship. But hey, I think all is well. You know, like, I honestly think that we're in a good space. Let me see. I honestly think we're in a good space. How you turn this phone without turning it off? I want to know if you can hear me though. Do I like this song? I don't need to say too much, you know. I just need to cover myself. I need to make sure that I'm covered. I need to make sure that. Oh, you can hear me. Yeah. It does sound too loud there. But yeah, you can't hear me. I might keep it on. Because I feel like this needs music in the background. You know, like when you found your love, when you found somebody that you would live your whole life with, wake up every day, no makeup, wake up every day with, argue, I want to do everything. I want to fight. I want to get back together. I want to have problems and solve it. I want to have problems in my life just to solve it together. I will go to war with him. Not against him, but literally with him together. We're a team. I wanna be a parent for the first time with him. I wanna go through life with him. I wanna have kids with him, and I can't say that about every relationship that I've been in. I've tried and failed like 6 times with relationships. I've been in official relationships twice. So I've had 2 boyfriends, and then 4 of them were like trying to get a relationship out of them, but saw no success with those. You know, wasting my time. 2 of them wasted like years of my time. I don't know why I spent years wasting my time. It really. One was like possessive. Look, listen. Didn't want me to be with nobody, but didn't want to be with me. You know, trying to get a relationship with these guys, but like you can play wife with them, and they got somebody else in mind. You know, I'm been a placeholder myself. You know, no shame to ace girl. No shame to no placeholder. Sometimes we won't know that we're placeholders. Why are you giving us why are you putting your time in? Why are you letting me over? Why do I know where the key to your house is? You know, why am I sleeping over? Why am I cooking for you if you don't see me as a wife? You know, you got me doing wifely things, but you're wasting my time. You know, I consider that to be so selfish, especially when I communicate to you that I want commitment. And you're telling me, gotta wait years. I'm gonna move on and all some stuff. And end up in another relationship. You know, like tried and failed 6 times. You know, some people don't know that my relationship, that I keep my relationship on the wraps for a reason. Lucky number 7. Lucky number 7. And then, you know, lucky number 3, lucky number 7. My 3rd official relationship. Or my 7th attempt at a relationship. But yeah, you know, life is so interesting because 3 is my lucky number and 7 is the lucky number. You know, signs and synchronicities. I want to keep myself open-minded. You know, I don't want to get too comfortable, too complacent with how things are, because things are going to change as they should. You know, we are 2 individuals that are always growing and changing and developing and evolving and feeding one another, you know, speaking to one another, speaking life into one another, you know. And then to have this, y'all won't think that they're nobody, but they act like a nobody. They act like a loser. You know, like, I don't know if y'all know what a loser really is, but if you're a loser in the eyes of God, you're a whole loser. You're a sore loser. If God is one of your cheerleaders, you know, cheering you on, God's like, keep going. If God's like that with you, I know you don't see me crying, but it's there. You know, like, and then with the relationship, I have so much of myself that's just been bottled up. Probably why my back's messed up. My whole's falling. Been bottling up my whole personality. It's always been there. It's just been, you know, behind a bunch of walls. It's like that song, and then like a rap song. Addicted to life. I'll never fall again. It's only you feel like falling. Gravity can't win. So pull me back to the ground again. It's like I've been awakened. Everyone I had to break in. There's a risk that I'm taking. But I never want to shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking down, I'm surrounded by your grace. Remember those walls I built? But they were tumbling down. And they didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I never really had to die. Standing in your light, yeah, hello, got my angel now. It's like that. It's like that. How you do that? How you do that? Just break down all my walls. Ain't nobody's been able to penetrate all my walls. I'm got walls that's got damn spikes on the top. And in order to get in through the door, because my therapist said, don't have up walls. You can keep the wall, just put doors there. You need passwords to get through the door. I got so many walls up. How you get through all of them? All of them? He was really working. You know how much work you have to put as a man? You know how much work you have to do to break down my walls? Mind you, we have never, he ain't seen what's going on underneath this. He don't know what this looks like. We ain't never physically, been with each other. But yet, and this is why starting on the spiritual level is so important, because there's so much depth at the top. When you start off in the surface, it's like, what more is there? What more is there that I can't see? Honestly. Now, if your job is to really expose your body, it's like there's no mystery. There's no mystery. I'm already got to the bikini bottom of everything that you got going on with yourself. You need substance, you need depth. Funny how spiritual some of y'all are, but you're still shattered. Did you stop at the zodiac signs? Anyways, this type of stuff is confusing. How are you so spiritual? Oh, hold on, Jezebel's a spirit too. The devil, the demons, all that type of stuff, the spirits too. Remember that. And the best place for the devil to hide is in the spiritual community, is in religious circles, in religious groups, because your guard is down. If not saying this is true in your church, but if the devil is up there behind the podium preaching to you, you trust them, you follow them, you're influenced by them, easily influenced by them. Easiest place to hide for the devil is in plain sight, where you wouldn't even think to look for the devil. You're not gonna think to look for the devil in church. You go there for spiritual ministry, for stewardship, for assistance to steward over the body of Christ. How did the devil even get in her? Shouldn't you burn at the door? I don't know. The thing, like, as soon as you walk into that church, it's like, the spirit of Jesus is too strong in her. Can't withstand the lights. It's hurting my eyes. You just think it's difficult for the devil to walk into church, like some type of strong spiritual field protecting it. But no, they up in there. I heard talking about spiritual alignment and Zen and peace, alone. They know all the words. It's not like the words are sacred anymore. It's not like what's sacred is sacred anymore. What's sacred isn't sacred anymore. And a union, I keep going back to this. A union brought on by God, a relationship, this divine union is so sacred that you shouldn't even feel comfortable tampering with it. Honestly, you should probably, get into that word. Say a few prayers or something, like, just one second. You gotta get into your word. Don't matter what word, the old word of God. Just different regions, different language. different practices, different traditions, different culture. Same message. Ain't it interesting? A time where there was no phones, no fast way of communicating, every single religion, every single structure, spiritual structure has similarities, commonalities. Different regions, different parts of the world with so much similarities, so much in common. I think that's very interesting. So it doesn't matter which one you pick up. Learn to appreciate all of them. Learn to understand all of them. You don't have to adopt every single one of them and practice every single one of them. And you don't have to even have the idea that these are different gods. They're not different gods. Just different language of expression. Different forms of expression of the word. Anyhow, my time is up here. And I will be seeing you guys another time. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation, and I hope that you'll be back for the next one. Thursday, probably. Most likely Thursday. I'm being in the studio Thursday. So be there for that. And I'll be seeing you another time.